I've always wondered, how does someone copy being in a new environment? Adapting different values, different cultures in order for them to fit in the new society. Join me as I learn how people adapt, how people cope up in a different society. As I'm on a journey to interview different foreigners in South Korea, a different society for most foreigners, people coming from all over around the world, from Africa to Asia itself. Different skin colors, different cultures, different values. I hope you learned something just the way I am.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to In a Foreign Land. Today we are joined by KIRANA on the other side, and today she's going to inspire and tell us her journey towards her being in a foreign land. And I'll allow her to introduce herself.
So hi everyone, my name is KIRANA, but you can call me Kirana. I'm from Indonesia. I'm 20 years old and I'm currently studying Bachelor's of Psychology in South Korea.
Okay, that's nice. That's amazing. Allow me to thank Kirana for her deciding to come on the channel and for her being able to share her story and her transformation journey in South Korea. You are in South Korea. What are you doing in South Korea?
So I'm taking the undergraduate course and I'm studying psychology. I'm also actually thinking to take the double major next year, but I'm still not really sure how it's going to happen, like if it's really going to happen or not. But for now, I'm just studying psychology. And it's been almost 2 years for me here now.
Oh, that's amazing. And how did you find yourself in Korea?
So, actually since I was senior high school, in Indonesia, I was already thinking of wanting to study abroad, but not specifically to South Korea, just maybe anywhere in Asia, not outside of Asia, because my parents also don't want me to be that too far from Indonesia. So starting from the first year of high school, I was already looking up a lot of sources, also so that I don't have to pay tuitions, scholarships and all of that stuff. There were a lot of countries on the list actually, like Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, and also Australia because it's pretty close from us. But South Korea was not really on the top of the list at that time. But then, because I'm also interested into K-pop and all of that stuff, not really K-drama, but mainly K-pop, and also the language. Sometime around the second and third year, it was also Corona, it was COVID. We couldn't go to school physically, so I had a lot of time looking up on the website and all of that stuff. And I found this one program that allows us to get scholarships from the government, which is called GKS. But I also know that it's not easy to get that scholarship. So then I also talked to my parents, and apparently there was one student here who is also from Indonesia, but she graduated already last year. She told my parents about this campus and that they have the program of a little bit of scholarship, I would say. So that's basically how I ended up here.
Okay, I pretty much understand. And from the way you're saying, it seems like it wasn't an easy journey. It was kind of hectic and just trying to join things together and figuring out what would work for you. But you finding yourself in Korea now, how have you been able to adjust to the Korean society? Is it easy? Did you pretty much get what you were expecting? Or any shocking things when you arrived to Korea?
So last year I had never been to South Korea before I came here. So like it was basically all of the things that I know about South Korea was basically only from the things that I found online. So I came here without, I don't think I really have any sort of expectations, except the fact that I know about the public transportation here and maybe the cleanliness and all of that stuff. I won't say it shocked me in any sort of way, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it did take some time adjusting, especially now that I live not in my house, not with my parents, that I share a room with roommate and all of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the part where I really had to try to adjust. It's not really about the language, it's not really about the food. I think it's kind of like just the environment in and of itself, yeah.
And the environment on itself, has it allowed you to grow, to expand yourself? Can you say you have been able to figure out yourself
Yeah, I would
differently?
say, yeah, because also like I also had to learn to control my expenses. I had to clean my room by myself. I had to laundry my clothes by myself, and all of that stuff that I had to like adjust to do it by myself without really having being able to like ask my parents to do it, because like at home my parents would usually do it but like here I have to do everything by myself. And then for other things, I feel like South Korea in a way has allowed me to like kind of express myself differently than in Indonesia. I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like that's actually a good thing, because I'm able to like find a different side of myself here that I cannot really find in Indonesia, because like the society is just different. Yeah, I would say.
Wow, that's amazing. From what you've just said, I'm just kind of, you just kind of took my attention over you being able to allow yourself to grow, you being able to allow to the environment around you to help you express yourself in a different way. I think that on its own could be a definition of growing, you know. Sometimes it's not about age, but it's about how you have started to manage yourself, how you have started to see the environment changing you. And I love the positivity that you're saying. You are seeing the goodness of it.
Yes.
You mentioned something about society. You being from Indonesia, which is an Asian country, and coming to South Korea, also an Asian country. Does it really differ?
I would say one of the most like the biggest difference that I would say between the society like from Indonesia and South Korea is that here I feel like the younger people are more individualistic, whereas in Indonesia I would say it's more like you will more easily like help other people on the street.
Okay.
I guess I'm not saying that people here don't help each other, but it's just kind of different, I would say, because here maybe you have to really approach one person and then ask them, hey, excuse me, can you help me, blah 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 blah. But in Indonesia, usually when someone sees that you are having a problem, they will approach you first. But here you, as the one having the problem, you need to try to approach other people first. And but it's also not like to generalize everyone, because of course there's like some people who would gladly like come to you and ask you for help. I've seen that happen quite a lot of times here actually. So yeah, but that still feels kind of like one of the most, you know, the biggest difference from the society. That's the easiest one that I can think about.
Wow. Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you on that. But from the way you're saying, South Korea has allowed you to grow. It has allowed you to see life in a different perspective. But life is not all roses, you know?
Yeah.
Life is not all roses. Someone who is watching you from Indonesia right now, or from any part of the world right now, allow them to know what to expect when they come to South Korea. What could be Yeah, both the downsides and the goodness of coming to Korea.
For studying?
Yeah.
For studying, I guess especially if you want to study in South Korea and you are taking classes with Korean people, not with other foreigners, just expect that you are most likely not going to be like treated very differently. And in this case, I mean, like, of course you are like a foreigner in that class, and maybe if the class has 30 people and then you are the only foreigner, they're going to be like, you might think that they're going to be like treating you like very differently. But for my case, I don't really think that happened at all, especially like if we have a group projects, like the people would be assigned randomly, and then I'm the only foreigner in the group. I introduce myself, blah blah blah. They never, in my experience, they never really ask me where I'm from, and I don't. I want to think that it's just because they don't really want to like meddle into others' problems or that kind of thing, like others' businesses, like wanting to know where you come from. But it sometimes makes me feel like, are they really not interested in me and that kind of thing? But like just know that I feel like that's kind of like their personality, you know. They don't really want to, it's not like they don't want to know. I feel like they just don't really want to ask it about it like directly in your face, like where are you from. It's not like they are not interested. But yeah, I mean, it took me some time to really adjust into it. And then maybe the other thing is like just know, still in the context of having a class where everyone else is Korean, that they are indeed very like hardworking in studying. Like they really study hard. So you as a foreigner, you have to work double the work, because like they will already be able to understand what's written on the PowerPoint, for example. But you as a foreigner, you need to like maybe prepare before the classes. You need to translate what you don't know about the words and all that stuff, and then you like really focus on what the professor is saying. And then after class, you also have to like reread it again to really understand what you're studying, right? But for them, maybe they don't really have to do that much work. So like you have to really double the work in study.
Wow. Still on that point, would you help me to clarify what benefits are they in studying what do you call this, in the English track, meaning you're just allowing yourself to continuously study in English that you understand and know, and rather than challenging yourself going for the Korean track? What could be the pros and cons to that?
I think one of the pros that if you, let me talk about the Korean track first, okay? So if you are taking the Korean courses where everyone else is Korean, I feel like one of the pros is that you are going to be like, you are going to feel more productive. And not just feel, you are actually going to be more productive because of the point that I mentioned earlier. You need to study, you need to be more hardworking than the Koreans in order to be able to strive in the classes, right? So I think that just comes naturally. You are going to like just study more, and maybe not just study, you will be also more productive in like other areas as well. But for the English track classes, where most likely everyone is also foreigner like you, I feel like one of the pros is that you will be able to find or like make friends with people from other countries much more easily than if you like come to a class where everyone is Korean. And I think it's just more noticeably easier to make friends in general, because for the Korean classes, it's sometimes hard to make friends with Koreans. And I think like maybe a lot of people have heard about it online as well, because a lot of people talk about it, how it's hard to make friends in Korea with Koreans. Whereas for foreigners, I feel like it's easier because we know we are all from outside the country. We all understand that it's not easy to be at this point where we are studying in a foreign country and all of that stuff. But also, on the downside, if you're
guys, if you have been able to watch till now, could you likely just subscribe, like, share, and just leave a comment down there. What did you learn? Anything new that Kirana could have opened your eyes upon? And yeah, just share your ideas. I'm going to ask Kirana to share her contacts with you, like your social media platforms, so that anyone who could be interested, maybe you have questions or something like that, you're able to get in touch with her. Okay, before I let Kirana go, I just want to ask here one last question, which is, you being in South Korea, would you recommend the same thing for someone who is watching you right now? They could be in Indonesia, they could be in Africa, they could be in Australia, they could be anywhere in the world. Would you recommend them to come to South Korea?
I would recommend you, if you are really passionate about, like, not only, you know, like K-pop, K-drama, don't come here for that and that only, because if you come here for that only, I feel like that's going to make you regret your decision, like, not long after you step your feet here. But instead, I would recommend you coming here if you want to, you know, if you are very interested in the language, in the culture, and then like the society, and if you really want to try to like challenge yourself, maybe taking a course fully in Korean, like me, like what I do with psychology, I feel like it's really suitable for you to try and study in South Korea.
Wow, thank you so much.